Hey guys, I'm Billy, this is the Miata, and welcome back to BILLT. Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. You can see I'm here with our 2000 Mazda Miata. I just wanted to go over some of the progress and updates that we've had between now and the last video that I put out. If you watched my recent update video, then you know that I had a little bit of issue with some SD cards and I lost a bunch of footage. Unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier, we did have the issue with the SD card, and this particular project was a victim of a lot of that loss. So a lot of that footage was some of the changes that we were making with this car, some of the updates. I was hoping to have a video done within the next week or two to kind of go over the last month or so of work that we've done. But unfortunately, a lot of that footage got lost, and I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get over that and whether I need to recreate stuff or kind of just step through the process of some of the changes that we made, some of which are pretty big, as to how we're going to finish this build. Alright guys, well, aside from following along with these videos, which if you haven't seen them already, go ahead and check out all the old videos to get yourself up to date with the build. But if you have been watching along, feel free to follow my social media as well, and that'll get you a better day-to-day update and kind of show you where the builds are in real time versus having to wait for me to shoot and edit some of these videos. Now, because I lost the information on the SD card, let's go ahead and jump into some of the progress that has been made since really the last video came out until now. So it just so happens that some of the footage that I didn't lose that has happened since the last video is actually that we did the brakes. So this was a great opportunity for Lindsay to really dig in and get some mechanical work done. So we do work on the car aside from just what we're doing in the interior. A lot of it I don't show, some of it's little stuff, but here is one side of the brake job that we actually completed. I got to play a little bit of more of the manager and overseer mode, and I actually let her complete a significant amount of the brake job, particularly the other side of the vehicle. So one of the other things that we do get to do is actually just go out and enjoy the cars. Now this is actually footage from around Thanksgiving time when I actually let my mom drive the car. So what you're seeing is my parents driving the Miata while me and Lindsay are in the S2000. Now if this is something that you guys would like to see more of, just let me know and I can do my best to get more shots like this. So the last video left us off completing the rear fabric, as well as installing the heated seats, and even moving on to the side extension templates, which are now made of ABS plastic. The next step was to move on to the center console, make a template for the face, as well as making that out of ABS plastic. Alright guys, so as you can see, I'm sitting here with the console as it sits now. One of the biggest changes that we made was removing the console part from the backplane part. So the backplane that sits within the car was originally intended to give kind of like some structural rigidity and some mounting surface for this. But I think with the two bolts that go directly into the frame, that stabilizes this console pretty much as it needs to. And I really didn't feel like it had to be attached anymore. It also makes it a lot easier to install, uninstall, and reinstall as needed. You may have also noticed in the last clip that the console seems a lot more complete. We were able to complete and install another rear bracket here. This will support both the rear panel as well as the hinged lid, which you will see here in a moment. For these panels, we actually decided to use a slightly different technique where we would template the piece first and then cut a slightly larger piece of plastic so that we had enough to overhang and then we could trim it back later. After cutting and mounting the ABS piece that will be the hinged lid on this console, we were able to use the heat gun and actually heat the ABS plastic and form it to the center console. Now this is a complicated and tedious process and can take some time to make sure that you heat the ABS plastic evenly. You'll notice that we use the same technique on the front of the console, but this does give it a good shape and overall did come out well. You'll see that we use the same technique where we actually oversize the panel and then trace the edges to know where to cut. Now, after some quick reassembly, we can check everything for tolerances, and there's still some finishing work to be done, but ultimately the console is now in one piece. All right guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at the front panel here of the center console. Now, you can see it's kind of broken down a little bit into sections, with the lower section housing really only at the moment the 2 heated seat switches, which it's really a good fit for them. It's kind of difficult to get to while you're in the car, but it is a nice spot and they're out of the way. And the biggest issue I had with this lower section was that the roll bar runs behind underneath, so it just makes it not very deep. Now, moving up to the middle, this is our extra cup holder. Adding a cup holder was always a big reason that we wanted to do this center console build. The 2 cup holders that we have in the Miata are just not useful at all, especially because it's manual transmission, so they basically sit exactly where your elbow needs to be, and it's just really not useful. So moving up from there, we have our accessory panel. Now, this is just like a standard accessory panel that I got off of Amazon, and I'll throw the item link in the description below. But the nice thing about this is you can kind of reconfigure it as you need. You can move these around. You can buy other accessories that are this same socket size and basically install those instead. If you watch some of this clip here, you'll actually see me installing the wiring as well. The wiring was really something that it's a little bit temporary, and we're not 100% sure if that's gonna be the way it lives forever, but that's just the way it's gonna be for now. Basically, the biggest thing to take away is that we have a cigarette lighter, voltmeter, USB, and then the switch. So the switch will operate all of the power within the console. So we'll have basically 3 states: off, constant on, and then ignition. So all of these wires are pinned out here to our pigtail, and basically that'll control all of the power to the center console. Other than that, that's really the whole front here. We still have some room down here where we can add either some graphics, or we were thinking maybe a logo or some lighting or something to just not have this big empty space. But the cool thing about this is that this center piece here is all one piece. So if I wanted to pull this out and reconfigure it and then put a new piece back in, I wouldn't have to change anything about the console just to do that. All right guys, well, I just want to go ahead and take this moment to wrap up this video. I know it was a little bit disjointed with losing the SD card footage and not really being able to show you guys everything. I do try to capture as much as I can, and I know I do kind of gloss over some stuff, go really high level overview with some things. But if you ever want to see more, definitely drop a comment. If I get enough people that want to see something, I can always make another video or go further in depth, or even if it's afterwards, I can kind of go over what I've done, just so people can see with more detail. So other than that, I really appreciate anyone who's watched this far, or anybody that's, you know, sharing this or liking it. It really helps. I do still do it for fun, but every little bit the channel grows just gives me more opportunity to either reach more people or do more things or share it better with my friends and family. So once again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.